What's up, bleepity bloops?
That's just as bad.
Why? The YouTube algorithm.
What if they pick that up as something? Whatever.
Look,
bloop.
We bleepity blooped.
You might as well go full send if you're gonna do that.
No, they say to wait like I think it's 8 seconds or so before you start anything to start cursing. So now the uncensored version. What's up? No, whoa.
See? Yeah. Yeah.
I almost slipped up. I thought it was 2003.
I already knew what you were gonna say. You might as well, hey,
no, I don't think you knew what I was gonna say. I don't think you knew. No, because I don't usually say this. No. I'm not gonna tell you the letter because it's too easy of a say.
You were gonna bundle of sticks us all, weren't you? You motherfucker.
It's about to be fucked up. We were gonna have to restart for the third time.
With the N?
No. I got no problem saying that. I don't think there's enough of them to watch it. Enough of us to watch it. Well, am I one? No. We're not. No, we're better than that.
What the fuck?
Black Monday. All right, so
what?
Welcome to episode 144 of All Sorts of Sports. I'm back to host K-Dot. I'm feeling a bit better, although I might shit my brains out on the pod since I'm still coming over whatever stomach bug or fucking food poisoning I had.
Hey, get it on camera.
No, don't fucking do that.
So you're saying I can't say bleepity bloop, but I should open my asshole and shit on camera. Great.
I didn't say open your asshole.
Well, it's the only way I'm going to do it, buddy. So,
not the way you described it before.
OnlyFans, man, ASOS edition. All right,
man. I'm sure there's a clientele for that, but those people are sick. You're sick.
I don't kink shame.
They will pay.
All right, so another episode. We are recording this.
Bonuses all around.
We're recording this on Tuesday night after Black Monday in the NFL, which is what Ryan thinks MLK Day is.
Next week, Ryan.
I thought it was the upcoming Monday that you were talking about.
Context clues does not work out. He heard Black, he heard Monday. There's only one thing that mattered.
Martin Luther King. He matters.
The only one of us that matter, apparently. So beyond all those things, so we got a bunch of NFL stuff, especially with the playoffs and everything coming in. We want to go to Damar Hamlin update, go through all the coaches that have been fired, what's happening as far as that goes, and then make our playoff picks, of course. But let's start with something that we could have talked about last episode. And if we're going to be honest with ourselves, James actually came to me with this topic, and I told him I didn't want to talk about it yet. But after seeing what's happened in the media over the course of the last few days, I actually feel guilty about saying that. And I want to talk through all of it, which is the Dana White New Year's Eve, was it that it happened, New Year's Day thing, where the video comes out on TMZ of him smacking the everlasting shit out of his wife. Now, given this, she does look highly intoxicated. He does too. And she does physically assault him before he does it back to her. But no, we didn't talk about it last week because I thought of the idea that, hey, I wanted more information to come out, right? But then if we're being completely honest about it, it hasn't stopped us in the past from talking about other things that we haven't had more information about, or a lot of other people in the media haven't had more information about. I don't know why I think we've tried to work in a direction of letting more information come out about things before we speak about them. But I think the context of this, you know what? Fuck all the preamble. What were your guys' thoughts when you saw the video? What are your thoughts now? What are your thoughts on the way the media have treated this thing over the course of last week? I'm going to start with James, because you're the one that brought the topic up to me at all in the first place. What do you think?
Okay. All right. So, one, when we see the video, I don't think we needed much more shit to come out about it, just based on what we actually saw with our eyes, right? I understand she hit him first, and everybody should go up the model, don't put your hands on somebody, and don't be upset at what happens to you if you do, right? So there's that. But two, as a guy, you're not supposed to ever really do that unless you're about to die. You get what I'm saying? I
get that conceptually.
Yeah. And he had security around him, which is kind of weird that they let it escalate to the point that they did. And they seemed pretty relaxed, which kind of gives me the vibe that this happens more often than not. And then for Dana White, himself, look, there was I was watching, I was I saw a few escape routes. You didn't have to be in that situation. Like you could easily remove yourself. And yeah, I mean, outside of that, like this dude is around fighters a few times a week at least. Like you can de-escalate a situation without putting your hands on somebody. So yeah, I thought it was piss poor decision making from him, whether he was drunk or not. Like, I don't give a shit. He was standing, so like in that sense, I don't give him too much leeway. He was wrong. In terms of the media coverage, you know, money cures a lot of shit. Like the fact that he has, all these deals with all these companies and everything, people didn't really discuss it as much as they should have. There's not that many ramifications so far. I just heard that like a woman group out in California asked him to resign based on like the shit he did. I saw some of the coverage on ESPN. Disappointing, especially like from Stephen A. Smith and Molly. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got for it. Like, when you think about it, I don't think anything else is going to come of it. They're going to sweep it under the rug. And then guess what? We have football this weekend and another UFC fight at some point. And then it's going to go away, which sucks.
The timing was also crazy because the video comes out and you have everything that happens with the Damar Hamlin situation. You got the NFL football schedule, playoff ramping up, things like that. But yeah, not really an excuse because usually they'll find a way to cover this sort of shit, especially if it's a black athlete. Ryan, what are your thoughts?
I think my biggest concern with this is he's been like if you put your hands on a woman, he'll cancel your UFC contract, right? He's said that publicly. There's no excuse for that. And now I'm not sure he's making an excuse for himself, but he's putting himself above his employees right now, which is not something you should do as the head of any company. And it doesn't, it's not a good example for anybody, right? Alcohol aside, you should never put your hands on a woman. That being said, it's one of those things where you have to, you have to take the consequences of your actions. And if he has been that staunch about, if you put your hands on a woman, you're done, I'm not quite sure why he thinks he's still capable of running the UFC. I'm shocked that there has been more outrage over this. I don't care if she hit him first. It's a woman hitting. Dana White's a big man. I'm sure it didn't hurt. I'm sure they were just angry at each other. But still, there's no excuse for that. That being said, I'm sure nothing will fucking happen. It sucks, but it's just the way it is. I know if it was one of the UFC athletes, their contract would have been terminated and they'd be looking for a job somewhere right now. So
that's the thing. Dana probably all over TV saying this, that, and the other about it, right? Trying to get ahead of it with some sort of media spin or marketing spin to put himself as like a heroic sort of player involved in all this. And now he's persona non grata, nowhere to be found when it comes to just kind of letting it blow all over, right? So yeah, it's bullshit. Like I get the timing, I get everything else that's happening in the news media. It does feel like a double standard in the sense of you have a lot of athletes that haven't even been convicted of anything. I mean, he was not convicted of anything that happened here. I think it happened in Mexico. But there is it's caught on camera. We all saw it. Explain yourself. We were just drunk and it was a regrettable decision. Okay, well, I do think the alcohol is the fucking like bane of a lot of people's existence and needs to be wiped out or eradicated more than we give it credit for being. There isn't usually a situation in which I get the rapid sort of nature of what it is that happened. It looked like she slapped him, which she shouldn't have put her hands on him. But then that initial just I'm drunk, somebody hit me, I'm going for it, right? He looked like he was in a murderous rage going after somebody. Which makes me think that he's not thinking clearly, but you should never have to put yourself in that sort of situation. And if you have put yourself in that sort of situation where you could be someone rageful enough to do something like that or to react in that sort of capacity, then that speaks to your decision making. And are you capable of being somebody who's levying penalties and decisions for people when you yourself are clearly not somebody that can put themselves in the proper situation to avoid those things. Is that what you would tell any of the athletes, right? Anytime the athletes are putting, it's why are you in that situation in the first place? Why are you guys at the club? Why is there booze? If you know you have anger issues, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Self-reflection, man. I will say Ariel Helwani, who I know him and Dana have a big thing back and forth. Dana came after Ariel at one point years ago and told him about how he was crying on social media and, hey, your kids are going to watch this and you should be ashamed. And Ariel struck back this week and said, hey, your kids are going to watch that. What are you going to say, Dana? What do you got to say about that? And I thought that was probably the most damning thing that I've heard anybody go with it. And no, I don't think he went below the belt. I think he handled it perfectly. This is one of those things where Dana needs to look at himself and other people need, if nobody's going to hold him accountable, then I think we need to be kind of rough with the way that we talk about it the same way they would be about anybody else.
Nobody's going to hold him accountable.
Well, nobody's,
because he's in bed with everybody who would.
And that's fair. And that's the thing. But we see it in anything, right? We see it in the NFL. Most of these owners, they don't have to, right? But I mean, thank God he's gone. We're on his way out.
Gone yet.
On his way out. But I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's like usually you got the guys that make the rule or are part of privy of that upper echelon of being the rule makers, of being in bed with the rule makers, never really have to follow the rules themselves. And that's just part of one of many things wrong with our society.
It's part of life. Like at this point, like if you're powerful enough to make, adjust, bend, break the rules, then fuck it.
Yeah, then you don't have to follow.
That's how they approach it.
I will say overall, as someone who spent 30 minutes today scrolling through fight Twitter, which is there's political Twitter, there's sports Twitter, there's black Twitter, and there's fight Twitter. People are entirely way too prevalent in using their hands nowadays to solve things. I know that some people think it's like there's this weird sort of masculinity. I don't even like the term toxic masculinity anymore because I think that's polluted and it's bullshit. I just think the way that people talk about masculinity is fucking wrong. We need to look back at the way we talk about it. But when you got Andrew Tate's being fucking heroes to people, he's
in jail.
Fuck that dude. The angle of which you have people that are like, well, if they want equality, this is equality. Like, it's shut the fuck up. Like, we are getting to a point right now where people just want to win arguments or be on the right side of things, that they're willing to go past the point of logic or common sense or realizing the double standards do exist, that not all things are fucking equal. I didn't even say the Skip Bayless thing needs to fucking stop too. Everybody's going to fuck away too on some of that shit. It's just like Michael Strahan. You were late, bud. Like you were late.
Oh, wait, okay? Wasn't that his first show after?
I get it, but you use Twitter or something. You're way late.
He might have.
And nobody paid attention because
exactly. So
Jason Penny shit
use his platform.
Like it's just just
Skip gonna get this work.
Yeah, but he thought he was doing something with. There's somebody at this network. Like
yeah.
I get it. Just calm it down.
Listen.
Calm it down, guys.
Hey. Skip been doing this shit to LeBron for decades, so Shannon can get his shit off on one episode. He ain't gonna talk about him next week.
All right, moving on to the NFL. Damar Hamlin, who we talked about last episode, actually the episode that we had it came out after the episode got released after Damar had already regained consciousness, been breathing on his own. He is now actually left Cincinnati. He's back in Buffalo, but I don't think he's home just yet. Still in the recovery, still in the hospital in Buffalo now, but making a hell of a recovery. He's not completely out of the woods just yet, but it looks totally different than what it is we saw when we last talked about this, which was last time we saw him. He was not conscious. We saw him getting put in the back of an ambulance. That was the end on that. The Damar Hamlin thing. Me first and foremost, I just want to say the first responders, I don't think we talked about that enough at these NFL facilities and the plans and stuff they have in place. There was a good write-up. I don't know if it was ESPN or The Athletic. It might have been ESPN. Did a write-up on the medical emergency staff that they have at the stadiums and how, as a matter of fact, the person that is in charge of the league's response to this was actually at the soccer match where Christian Eriksen fell and realized they needed to put a better plan in place for these sort of cardiac events. And seeing everybody just kind of spring into action and do what it is they need to do. I don't think we highlighted that enough on the last episode, as much as the incendiary stuff that was happening on Twitter and stuff afterwards, which we had to talk about. But I just want to give major kudos to that. Kudos to everyone that donated money to the toy drive. That was fucking dope. All the fan bases have done an amazing job kind of coming together on this. The Cincinnati Bengals fans there that night, Buffalo Bills fans are always been exemplary. I know Ryan, being the Buffalo Bills fan, if you got anything to say as far as Damar.
No, just great to see him making the progress that he's making. It's good. I mean, it's good for team morale. Other than him getting better, you can see that, especially for T. Higgins and other people who were there who had to like experience that, his friends, his teammates, as well as his family, to see him getting better, to see him ending up back in Buffalo, to see him tweeting during the entire game. And then just as a side note, he'd been telling Nyheim Hines since he got to Buffalo that he was going to break one. He had 2 kick returns for touchdowns last game. So
First play.
big. Yeah. And then one of them, I think it's been 3 years and 3 months since the last kick return for a touchdown.
Oh, wow.
There's just a lot of cool stuff that happened. But first and foremost, him being back in Buffalo, him being conscious. Obviously, he's going to still run tests, make sure he's okay. But it looks like, at least at this point, that he's going to make mostly a full recovery. So that's fantastic. And I hope maybe this time next year he's back out on the field for a consecutive Super Bowl run for the Bills. So that'll be cool.
Consecutive. Also,
Super Bowl run.
Last thing I got is Bart Scott's an idiot. That's all I got to say.
Bart Scott. Great.
We'll leave
name.
it at that.
Yep.
All right, moving on. Next NFL news before we get into the big NFL playoff picture. Let's get some of the other stuff out of the way. So it's Martin Luther King Day. Black Monday happened yesterday as we're recording on Tuesday. Sorry, Ryan got all in my head. I mean, he just confused me on what Black Monday means. I'm sorry. It's not MLK Day. It's the coaches getting fired. Now
that man heard black and started thinking about MLK.
He started thinking about MLK, or just thought it was something related to Lovie Smith, which was partially right. So the beyond that, if you could, James, Black Monday is the day that almost all these NFL coaches is the big laying off, very, very sad day. And if you really think about it, it's a fairly sad day. Although you go on Twitter and see all these fucking fans losing their shit off of people losing their jobs. It never sat right with me. But if you could go through the vacancies and who is out throughout the NFL after Black Monday.
So as of now, I don't think there's 4, right? 2 head coaches, 2 assistant coaches. Is there anybody else I'm missing, Ryan? I'm going to go with Lovie Smith and Cliff Kingsbury. Am I missing somebody?
That's all I got.
Okay. So Lovie Smith got fired from the Texans after 1 year. Another black head coach given 1 year to turn around a franchise with no QB, no talent on the roster. Yeah, the Texans can't win shit for another 30 years.
No,
no. I don't want them to because I'm tired. Yeah,
I haven't even been around for 30 years.
Well,
the next 30 are gonna be really shit.
Fuck them. Yeah. And I love how Lovie Smith won the last game just as a fuck you to them.
He went for 2, did not have to do that.
Yeah. Fuck them, man. That's some bullshit.
Yes.
Cliff Kingsbury got fired. I think we all kind of speculated this, going for the past 2 years. I remember I said it 2 years ago, but then the Cardinals were good and I had to apologize. So that was funny. I was just a year too early, hopefully that's, everything that I hope for. Hopefully that's the case, for a few other teams as well. Todd Downing got sacked. He was the Titans offensive coordinator. He got in hot water for DUI maybe like a month or two ago. And he was also with the Raiders at some point, but yeah, he's gone. And then Scott Turner got fired. K-Dot, that's your guy.
Is it?
He was an offense coordinator from a team.
Yeah, that's your guy. So
okay,
what do you got? What do you got to say about him?
Well, on the Scott Turner topic alone, I will say this: I like Scott's playbook. I think his scheme has some really fun things about it. But I do another show, Dish Divided on YouTube. If you guys want another
plugging
show.
That shit, man.
I plugged this on that one. So.
Okay, fine.
So the look, sometimes when I remember.
People be plugging.
You remember this?
Every Tuesday and Wednesday, depending on the NFL releases it, I watch the all 22 of the previous Commanders game, which is a pain in the fucking ass. But the thing that I've noticed all season long is that while I do love every game, there's a few plays you're like, that looked cool. Or they did a great job of getting that guy open. Or that scheme, there's so much space there. And you didn't have quarterbacks to execute. But beyond getting on the team, the thing with Scott Turner is that he has absolutely no idea what to do as far as game flow. He didn't understand game flow. He doesn't know how to scheme one or two plays to set up for the other thing coming down. He doesn't know how to put three plays consecutively together that make coherent sense that does anything. You can't ask your quarterback to run an Air Coryell vertical offense or even anything intermediate with a based off the rushing attack if the only thing you're tricking the defense on is play action from shotgun. The quick fake dunk on fake handoff on a shotgun is not keeping a defense honest as far as what you're doing play action wise. You can't build off of that. Nobody's falling for that, Scott. So it's one of those things that was extremely frustrating to see, is that there was just no cohesiveness to what he was doing on offense. And what he was doing as far as getting or instrumenting a certain game plan, depending on who was playing quarterback, was also extremely frustrating. You see the success that Washington just had last week against the Dallas Cowboys that wanted to win, with Sam Howell and a offense that didn't really give a shit because we were starting all of our fucking backups. But then you look at the week before when we started Carson Wentz, right? You institute a game plan that we haven't seen since the Green Bay game with Taylor Heineke, where it's like, hold on, what? Because the last time you ran that game plan with Heineke in Green Bay, he sucked. Then you installed something else that was working for a few weeks, but Carson Wentz comes back and you don't try to continue that. You just go back to what it is you thought you were doing. It didn't make any fucking sense. So I understand the move, but I also know with Washington, when it comes to the coaching situation and any of the adjustments that happen on the staff, a lot of it has to do with the new ownership change, which is everyone's under the understanding. Dan Snyder is selling the team. He's meeting with Ron Rivera next week. So nobody really thinks Ron Rivera is going to be out the door, because you're not going to want to pay the remaining years in his contract when you're selling the team already. Not to mention, who are you? If the new sell happens, it probably happens in March or April. And if that occurs, you're not really going to have a new owner then put together a coaching search to have somebody ready before draft time. So Ron Rivera is sort of the guy for the next year at least. And if that's the case, I think people in Washington would have his head on a fucking pike if it wasn't for the fact that he had to get rid of somebody. And Scott Turner was the easiest person to get rid of, especially with a Jack Del Rio-led defense that ended, I think, top 10 at least, maybe top 5 at the end of the season.
Also, all you really got to do is watch the Browns game to see what was wrong with Scott Turner. It was a lot.
You watched that game?
First, well, I was in North Carolina, so it was the only game we got because I didn't have no fucking internet. But it was first down. What were they doing? Running the ball. And they got 0 yards. And what were they doing on second down? Play action. And what would they do on third down? Run the ball, punt. And it was just like, what are you doing?
No game plan.
Stop. Like, if it doesn't work for 2 or 3 sequences. Shake it up. And he was like, no. So, I mean, like, it's.
I feel like Ryan's going to be a Commanders fan once Josh Allen.
He's already a Commanders fan. Stop.
No, like full blown. Full blown.
You have to fake it. We're going to see his if Buffalo wins the Super Bowl, we'll see his half-ass celebration.
First
It won't mean
shut the
anything.
fuck up.
No, he's going to go to Buffalo.
Oh, no, that's fine. He has disposable money. So he'll be able to go to Buffalo and make that happen. He can do that, right? He can flex like that. Ryan can do that. But when if the Commanders win a Super Bowl, when Ryan shows up with a fucking Commanders tattoo, he's going fucking nuts. That's where you can see the real Ryan, the crazy fucking Ryan. Not I have money so I can travel Ryan. It's the Ryan that does crazy fucking fanatical shit when his heart is really involved. And that's what happens when the Commanders get there.
I don't know. Because I can only...
It's gonna be tough.
If you get
really
another
tough to
tattoo,
do.
He will be free climbing
one,
the fucking Washington Monument.
They will have the same place as Arsenal for you. And I don't know if that'll ever happen.
It'll be tough to do that when I'm in my 70s, but we'll see where I'm at.
I will say one thing. Black Monday was also fairly quiet because there were already so many moves that happened. So, like, you had Indianapolis. Nobody believes Jeff Saturday's coming back. They already ousted their coach midseason. Then you had
I have more.
I
have more.
Oh, good.
You got the thing about Sean McVay. He doesn't know if he's coming back. Matthew Stafford doesn't know if he's coming back. His offensive coordinator just left and went to a college school. He told all his coaches, hey, I'm not sure right now, so I'm not blocking you. Go ahead and look for anything you can find.
I looked at the old episodes. You know how long I've been talking about McVay's not coming back, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
all right.
I feel like McVay just
don't move too much. You might
clear his head.
Stomach's already making some sounds.
See,
I told you
muted earlier to fart, and I didn't know if something's coming out.
Ooh.
It's just a fart. Took a chance.
Right. I told you I got a hard stop anyway, so it sounds like you got a soft stop. We'll work on that.
We'll get into more of the because I don't think any of the coaching changes. I don't think anybody will get hired probably this week, but I think we'll probably make more predictions on what will happen next week. But
there's one more thing.
Right, go.
So
sorry.
The Broncos search is really interesting, right? Because originally we've been talking about how they wanted to go after Sean Payton, and Sean Payton wants to bring in Vic Fangio as a D coordinator. And how Vic Fangio's not going back to Denver in any capacity, right? So there is a chance that he can bring in a different coordinator. So Sean Payton's still there.
Payton's not going to Denver. Payton's not going to Denver.
I don't think so either, but the beat writers in Denver saying that it's a possibility.
Of course.
I can't.
It's Denver.
No,
they got to sell stuff. Who the fuck reads a paper in Denver?
No.
Broncos country.
Hey, South Park country? What the fuck?
No.
That's Colorado.
The people that
is Colorado.
The people that are saying that have been legit for a while. So you got D'Amico Ryans, John Harbaugh, Dan Quinn. We don't know.
Yeah, the same motherfuckers that said Aaron Rodgers was coming because Nathaniel Hackett got hurt. I'm just saying
he might show up now because Nathaniel Hackett got fired.
Like I will say, there are two things I want to flex on when it comes to coaching things. I was always right about the Cliff Kingsbury thing, and I think Arizona's fucking this up. And number two, the Sean McVay thing. Sean McVay and Cliff Kingsbury are just not having fun this year. That's been the main thing. They're just not having any fun.
Well, the reason that McVay was having some fun, like first couple weeks. Then he didn't have a quarterback.
He still had the Super Bowl high.
Then he didn't have his best linebacker for a hot minute.
He was still high off the Super Bowl high. Okay, when things came out and it was like, oh, my roster's aging, we don't have any salary cap room, we got no draft picks. This is a rebuild. I don't want to do this. And I don't blame him because he can make a ton of money.
I can get money to go on the TV.
Because guess who's doing the same thing? Sean Payton, New Orleans. We got a Super Bowl. The quarterback retired. Salary cap's not looking too great. And aging roster.
McVay can do it in his mid to late 30s, right? He's like,
easy decision.
I got my Super Bowl. Oh, they're gonna pay me $100 million to go just talk on the
This
TV.
is John
No,
Gruden's
here's the
fault.
thing. He takes a year off. It's the same thing. It's the same thing I think with Cliff Kingsbury. I think Sean McVay and Cliff Kingsbury do the same thing. And as a matter of fact, I think this is what ends up happening. They're both gone. They're not coaching next year, right? We already know Cliff's out the door. And once again, Arizona did him a favor because I actually think no one in their right mind should want the Arizona job. So beyond that, what'll end up happening is neither of them are coaching next year. Neither of them will be on TV. What you're going to see about week 2 is they're going to have some like Instagram game film breakdown show on social media. Just them two motherfuckers going through game film, which is great. They'll be like the fucking Mr. Beast in fucking David Dobrik of fucking YouTube and shit, just doing breakdowns for like a year. Same like John Gruden did his bullshit. And you do enough where the only thing people remember is, guy, he's a good looking young dude. And didn't he win stuff? Oh, yeah. And they don't remember the end. And then you come back and you demand any money you want. And you get a Mark Davis to overpay for you. That's how that happens. That's what it works. Okay? That's the way it works.
Or Bezos in Washington.
Hey, but Bezos got enough money to say, fuck this, it ain't working. Cut your ass. Yeah. 6 months into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. But we'll talk more about the coaching stuff, I think, next week.
With less they got Kyler Murray to come on while he's twitching his Call of Duty to give his game tips of the week.
No, what you're going to see is a lot of passive-aggressive shots at Kyler Murray through all of the game.
Guess what? Guess who's not going to be there? DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, because DeAndre knows he needs to win something, and he ain't doing that.
Well, it ain't about what DeAndre Hopkins wants, because apparently the Cardinals are looking to trade him.
The Cardinals are only looking to trade him because he doesn't want to be there.
And
that is my
Roquan
guess.
Smith just signed a deal, $100 million, with
that's
I think,
weird.
65 total guaranteed.
I feel like the Ravens, didn't they have someone else they needed to sign to a long-term deal for a fuck ton of money?
Huh? Yeah. They got this thing called the franchise tag that they're probably going to use. Yeah.
So Washington's got to do with pain.
Oh, damn.
You thought you had a shot at him.
I didn't know if you had anybody else in your franchise.
It's him or Cam Curl. We'll pay Cam Curl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think their quarterback is going to be on a rookie deal next year.
Probably. We just got to pay Taylor Heineke some money. Top 5 mil, maybe 5 mil.
Yeah, I mean he's a bargain at backup. Bargain. It doesn't matter what it is, because he can still do his like advanced aerodynamic theories or whatever the fuck it is that he does as a backup. Yeah, Sam Howell looked pretty good.
Sam Howell looked good. No, Jimmy G was 7 mil this year for San Fran.
McLaurin threw his first touchdown ball like 40 yards.
I tell you right now, if Jimmy G's coming around
back, he said he got it back.
If Jimmy G's coming around the 7 mil mark, I think Taylor can say he wants like 5 or 6, and I might do that.
Is Jimmy G backing up Brock next year? Probably.
They still got this guy named Trey Lance.
No, Trey Lance fucking gone.
Hey, the first person you hear say that shit was me when I said that Jimmy G wasn't fucking going anywhere last year. And beyond that, Trey Lance is just not ready. But Trey Lance is still a high draft pick, and they gotta figure that out.
But nobody saw it being. We thought it was Jimmy G being the starter going forward. It's not going to be. It will be Brock Purdy.
No, yeah, they're not going to re-sign Jimmy G after what happened, unless
it's going to be Trey Lance starting next year.
No, it'll be Brock Purdy. He has the best start to a rookie career of all time.
It's also the easiest place to do it.
Right. Yeah, it's not gonna get harder next year. No, Trey Lance was in there and couldn't do the same thing. Jimmy G was in there losing. Brock Purdy gets slotted into a system.
Jimmy G was not losing.
Winning. Brock Purdy has not lost. He lost once.
Yeah, they also added Christian fucking McCaffrey. And that's
right. It's just that.
All right, moving on to the NFL playoffs. It is playoff time. It is here. Even though I really hate that the league is doing this Monday night bullshit, I don't like that for the NFL.
We're off anyway, so it don't matter.
Who are the Patriots playing? Can you tell me?
Nobody.
No.
I don't know why I looked.
Packers.
Not playing nobody.
No, they're playing the Packers.
Also, shout out to the Detroit Lions. Love Dan Campbell. You're the fucking man.
Hey,
Cool as shit.
guess who is in the playoff?
My brother has a friend who's on the team.
Nice.
Yeah.
Former MVP candidate, Geno Smith, who got all of his incentives this year get paid.
Oh, real quick. Quay Walker. Bitch.
Yo,
All right.
did you see his walk afterwards where his
Bitch!
knees were touching?
Yeah, he pouted. That's definitional like pouting.
In fairness,
He ran right to his mama's house.
he's like 23 years old,
Nah,
right?
he ran like dude from Friday when he ran to the car after Debo stole his bike.
Yeah, but he's
I
like
ain't do nothing.
he's like
That's my dream on my
22,
chain.
23, whatever he is. He's still a kid. He's just making dumb mistakes.
Yeah,
And
I
his,
don't think
He did address it.
his apology seemed legitimate.
Until he said what he was upset about in the tunnel, but in the tunnel you could see
Which
him
was
say,
a lie.
I didn't do nothing. Like you
Yeah.
can tell he
Like,
did.
we can hear what
We
he said.
said.
But
Jackass.
he's like, yeah, that was out of line. And yeah, I
Yeah,
fucked up. And I was
second
like,
time
all
this
right.
year, buddy. Second time. I think
man.
suspension.
And he said
is,
that too.
Yeah, suspension to me is on the table, but I'm also on the. I also thought at the early of the season that Devontae Adams deserved a 1 or 2 game suspension. What he did, I'm just saying, keep my consistency.
Neither one of them should be suspended. But at the end of the day,
Second offense.
Suspend him
public
all.
ridicule. He's been getting cooked. So
That is true.
As he should. But I also
that's
Matt
enough.
LaFleur just runs an extremely undisciplined team because there was another dude, I forget his name, that was supposed that should have been ejected too because he made contact with that official. And then outside of that, he also
right
had
after?
right after. And then he also had the forearm move and Russell Douglas punched
that
somebody
play.
in the fucking game. The Packers undisciplined as fuck. Mike LaFleur, get your fucking team together. All right, NFL playoff picks. So looking at the pick standings overall for the year, I extended the fuck out of my lead, 175 to 168. That's it. I don't think you're making this up in the playoffs unless you're going to pick everything that I don't pick. So I think we pretty much wrap that shit up. Also, Ryan ends in last place. Wow, Keen beat you.
I get an extra.
You get an extra 10, and you're still bound by 2. So, Bud, you suck.
No, hey, it's not over till it's over.
I don't know how you fucked that up. At least the Bills are good working for you. So starting off Saturday at 4:30 p.m., former MVP candidate Geno Smith.
Hold on, buddy. The playoffs is a whole new slate. We in the playoffs now.
No, it continues the whole picks.
No, it starts over. It's if you look at the standings, it's 0-0, motherfucker. So
I don't see that at all.
Okay, I'll show you.
It sounds like fake news to me.
It says playoff week number 1, but the standings
Whatever.
don't say.
Nah, fuck you. It's still 0-0.
You don't see it here. You
do.
lying son of a bitch. You're full of shit. You interrupt me and nonsense. All right, Saturday.
0-0, fam.
Fuck off. Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Seattle at San Francisco. Who you got? Starting with the liar, James.
Fuck you. I got the Niners. Fuck them too.
I got the Niners as well. Are you riding with MVP candidate Geno Smith?
They're gonna get destroyed.
Brock Purdy is a rookie. Rookies in the playoffs, regardless of how they looked in the regular season.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, true. That defense is not good.
Even though we torched them, which is
The
funny.
defense is not good. It's like 31st ranked.
Who?
Seattle.
Seahawks.
I'm saying we torched the Niners.
Who gives a shit?
And we do, but whatever. Who you got?
Niners.
Give me former MVP candidate Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker. Let's go.
To what?
Yeah.
To win?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey man, they weren't supposed to be
on
here.
Saturday?
They needed
They
to
win.
win.
They shouldn't be.
And they needed the Lions to beat the Packers.
Everyone would prefer watching either Aaron Rodgers or Detroit playing right now instead of Seattle. Let's get them the fuck up out of here.
Geno Smith.
No one wants to watch these guys play.
You know what? Brian, I hope the Seahawks do win this game though.
It makes it a lot easier for everybody else going forward.
True.
That's what I'm
no
praying.
shit.
That's what I'm praying for.
Fucking ridiculous. All right, Saturday, 8:15 p.m. LA Chargers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Starting with you, Ryan. Who you got?
The Chargers.
I'm going Chargers as well. James?
Same.
Chargers across the board. Sunday, 1 p.m. Miami at Buffalo. James, who you got?
The Bills. Who's the Dolphins QB?
Not
Does it
Tua.
matter?
No, but still, who's the Dolphins QB?
Also,
We
is
don't know.
Tyreek Hill still hurt?
I didn't
The
know he was
Bills.
hurt.
Yeah,
Bills across the board. Yeah, I don't see this going any other way. All right, probably the closest maybe closest matchup going in this week. Sunday at 4:30 p.m. You got the New York Giants at the Minnesota Vikings. Ryan,
Give me the New York Football Giants.
James.
This game is going to be very fucking close.
Same.
But Kirk, primetime Kirk.
I get the theory. I want to rock with the NFC East team. I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think Kirk gets a playoff win. I think the Giants have just they've overperformed. And I think this is enough that Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley get their contracts and they're satisfied. All right, Sunday, 8:15 p.m.
I think Saquon's gonna go off, and Brian Dable is the head coach of the Giants. So
Yeah,
I like Dable.
Every year that they overperform in the last 15 years,
they go on a run.
They go deep.
And Kayvon Thibodeau is, no matter how classless he can be, is a beast.
He's a fucking idiot, yo.
He's a fucking jackass. But here's the thing: is that Kayvon went? So his coming out game was against us in Washington, where he went to fuck off
with his 19 sacks.
Yeah, it was nuts. And then then you started getting this idea of like, oh, he wants to be on TV. He's looking like he wants to be the new Michael Strahan. Not like that, buddy. You're not gonna be Strahan. Not Strahan.
They showed a clip of Strahan talking to a reporter, like in response to that. It's completely different, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So I'm the only one going Vikings on that one. Sunday, 8:15. Baltimore at Cincinnati. I will go first. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals. James, who you got?
I think Lamar plays, and I'm going Baltimore.
Solid. I think Lamar plays. It doesn't fucking matter. Give me the Bengals.
That's where I'm at.
Okay.
Like coming off of that injury, usually you're not going to play 100%.
Yeah, the PCL is a little worrisome.
Yeah.
But Lamar's an former MVP.
Yeah, but he's got great receivers to throw to.
Former MVP.
I'm rooting for Lamar to do well, but
it's Mark Andrews.
Hey, Keem, I am not.
What's the likelihood Keem's watching this? Oh, he probably misses this.
Just clip that.
He'll never admit it.
I'm gonna clip that and send it.
Yeah. I doubt you do that work.
It's so easy.
So 2 Cincinnati's, 1 Baltimore.
Yeah.
And you got money on the line. That's right. I said no to that bet because I don't win bets against you assholes.
Ryan, you bet?
You bet Rakeem $100, right?
On the Bucks game though.
Oh no, right. That's right. On the Monday night game, 8:15 p.m. Dallas at Tampa Bay. Ryan, who'd you bet on?
Give me Thomas Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
James, who you got?
I have the Cowboys. The Bucks have not impressed me, and I think the Bucks are ready for a reset, and I think Tom Brady's also ready for a reset.
He's 90 years old. His reset is death.
No, he's gonna go somewhere else.
His career's not done.
Yeah.
Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. It was said by Jason Garrett actually posted this, and I don't know what this means. I don't know. I have no idea what this means. But if you look at the defensive efficiency of Dallas when they play on grass compared to turf, it's night and day. And in Tampa Bay, Bermuda grass, baby. Dallas looked fucking dog shit against Washington. I've never seen a team look that bad going into the playoffs, especially with stuff that they thought they had to play for, at least in the beginning. You could see on the sidelines, Mike McCarthy wanted to have just one good series to say, okay, guys, you're ready for the playoffs and I can bench you. And he couldn't get it. So it's like
this was McCarthy the whole time.
And when you get embarrassed like that, you come back the next week and
unless you're the Cowboys, usually like to choke in the playoffs.
And you think that
I can see them destroying Tampa Bay, right? And then losing next week.
Here's the thing. You think if you're about to get embarrassed, then you do something different. Unless you're Dak Prescott, who almost throws a pick to Kendall Fuller, and then the next play throws a pick to Kendall Fuller. It's just, well, what are you
I can
doing?
see that just being jitters.
I will say this: if the Cowboys,
you're about to be in the playoffs, you don't want to get hurt.
Look, it is the NFL playoffs. It means there is not a single one of these games that I don't think has the possibility going the other way. I don't feel that certain about anything. It's the playoffs, baby. But when it comes to that Tampa Bay Dallas game, what it will boil down to at the end of it is what Micah Parsons and Diggs can do to Tom Brady. That's it.
Diggs? No.
Yeah. No.
They
Just saying.
They ain't throwing towards him.
I think Tom doesn't give a fuck. But I really do think that is the key to the game. We all see what Tom does if you get pressure on him, if you hit him a bunch of times. He doesn't like that shit. If Micah can put a little extra on it, I can see it. But I'll never be rooting harder against a team fucking winning than Dallas on that goddamn Monday night. You should be able to hear me all over Baltimore scream my fucking head off for Tampa Bay to beat the everlasting shit out of these assholes. All right, so those were our playoff week 1 picks, as you had 2 teams on a bye this week, Kansas City and Philadelphia. So now with a few minutes left to spare before Ryan's hard stop, we are in final thoughts time. Ryan, would you like to kick off final thoughts?
I would. So I know that my Mets have an open checkbook to purchase the contract of any player they want. And they did their due diligence on Carlos Correa and decided not to sign him. And quite frankly, I'm kind of happy. We have Brett Beatty, who is a top 5 prospect at third base. Hit a home run in his first at bat last year. We have some talent there. We don't have to go spending $250 million in 10 years on a player who we don't think will be there for the entirety of the 10 years. He went back to the Twins. And Manny Machado has an opt-out clause after the end of this year. I think we have all the talent we need to potentially go to the postseason this year. Don't need to clog it up with the Carlos Correa. Obviously, we weren't the only people who thought he had an issue. The Giants did too. And he ends up back in Minnesota. Nobody actually wants to live in Minnesota. So, I mean, good for them. They can thrive in mediocrity for the next 10 years.
6 years, $200 million.
Yeah, that sounds like a whole lot of money to be mediocre.
Yeah.
Go Mets. Also, check out my Salt City Mets jersey. Sick. It's AA.
Oh, I was like, I ain't never heard the motherfucker.
I had a New York Pizza Rat shirt.
Nice.
Great.
Nice.
When I bought it, it came in a pizza box.
Is that the joint that Master Splitter wore?
James, you got any final thoughts?
Also, we should all go see the Savannah Bananas at some point, because that shit looks
Master Splitter.
Oh no, it does. But here's the thing. I got down to Savannah all the time. The tickets are almost impossible.
Oh yeah, but we should try and get them and go, because the Savannah Bananas look fucking awesome.
No, I'm totally down. Every time I go down, I look for the tickets and I'm like, oh shit.
Love it.
All right. Final thought is this. I just watched the trailer for the new Ant-Man movie, and I don't know if he's making it out.
At least a version of him.
Yeah, we'll see. But
all right, I want to.
Somebody died.
But that man
think
is
they both do.
60 years old, and he looks like he's 30. So I don't think they can kill him. Doesn't matter what size he is.
Prediction: Ant-Man kills Kang, and then you find out this is just some peon shitty version of Kang. There are much worse versions of Kang still to come. So it feels like, oh my god, but holy shit.
The multiverse.
Yeah. I'm gonna go do something real quick. I'm gonna list my top 10 movies of 2022, since I finally was able to get through a bunch when I was sick. But I want to do something.
How many times do you shit yourself going through and making this
I already
list?
know where this is going. James, tell me the ones you haven't seen.
No.
All right,
James, tell me the ones you've never heard of.
Oh, fuck you.
Top 10 list of 2022. I just want the ones that you've never fucking heard of. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Number 1. I'm going from 1 to 10.
All right.
Wait, which one's
one being
best?
the best. One being best.
Oh, why not? Why not?
I guess I'll go the other way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would you start with the best? That I like.
Fine. There are a few that I haven't watched yet that might get in here, but I want to do this before, because I think I'm going to finish this weekend. 10 Causeway.
Nope.
9 Hustle.
Yeah.
8 Bullet Train.
Yeah.
7 Marcel the Shell with shoes on.
No.
What?
Number 6 Barbarian.
No.
Number 5 The Menu.
Mm-mm.
Number 4 Tar.
Nope.
Jesus Christ. You'll know the top 3.
Ryan, do you know them? Do you know all of them?
These
Yes.
are
All right,
most
cool.
of them name will be Academy Award nominated.
Oh, I don't watch that shit either.
Except for
I don't
Marcel
watch
the
that shit
Shell.
either.
although
Marcel
that
won't
is-
get it,
It's
but-
a short, but whatever.
Go ahead.
Number 3 Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, of course. Watch
Number
it twice.
2 Nope.
Nah, I know what it is. I didn't watch it though.
And number
I
1
don't like
Everything
it.
Everywhere All at Once.
Of course, I know what that is.
Did you watch it?
No.
Of that top 10, how many did you watch?
0.
A few.
You saw Hustle.
Mhm.
Did
Bullet
you see Hustle?
Train.
You saw Bullet Train.
Mhm.
You saw Top Gun Maverick.
Of course.
Did you see Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No, but I know what it is.
So
I
you
told
see
you that.
3 of my top 10
Mhm.
of 2022.
That's actually shocking. I'm surprised.
I'm
it's that
fairly
high.
shocked.
Yeah, that's higher than I expected. I expected him to know 2 and have
Guess
seen
what?
1.
You can all suck my dick. Cool. Hey.
And on that bombshell,
Wait,
James has a dick. So beyond that,
Kid's
everyone-
gonna go shit
Hey,
himself.
touche.
enjoy your
Touche.
NFL playoffs.
I like
I
it.
need to
I
go
like
shit my brains out and get a cigarette in.
Hey, feel better, bro. Like for real.
Episode 144. Have a good one. Hopefully, this will be up in a day or 2, depending on how the shits and work go.
Hey,
Bye,
can you not
guys.
bring-
I
can
mean,
not
you
bring
can
it into
edit
the
on the
bathroom?
toilet.
Yeah, you just bring it into the bathroom.
No, I'm not flagging my iPad. No.
Ooh.
If
Well,
I
look,
ever have to
put a
wipe
case
shit
on it.
off an iPad, I'm not having it.
Put a case on it.
No,
Like,
I don't like I don't even
saran
bring my.
wrap the
I
shit.
barely bring my phone in the bathroom. And when I
saran wrap
do
it.
bring my
What
phone
do
in
you, what do you do? Just like read comments?
Get it out. I'm not one of those people that enjoy shitting. I don't enjoy it.
I'm in there.
Sarah
for
Silverman
hours.
has a joke about this, and we'll end on this. From way back when you have a hairy ass and you're shitting, unless you got a flawless victory, it's like getting peanut butter out of shag carpet. It's never fun. Never fun.
That's disgusting.
Bye, guys.
I love you both.
That's so fucking